Hey everybody, it's TH and Anas and Nathan, and we're at the Rosebud Continuum Ecoscience Center working on a quick GIS tutorial for ArcGIS because there's been confusion between the old versions of Arc and the new versions of Arc, and we want to show you what we figured out here collectively that helps Nathan with his work for SwiftMud, and we're gonna run the procedure for you. So what we had is first we're going to come in here and we're going to put a map in. A base map. I like to put in a hybrid map first, and then I like to put in a imagery map that doesn't have all the street stuff. And in that, I got world imagery, and it's not letting me put in the other map. Why not? I want to add another base map. I want an imagery hybrid. There. So I got a hybrid layer that has Havana on it. Yay! And I've got a world imagery that doesn't have the legends on it. That gives me the ability to put out cool maps that don't have borders and names, but also to have stuff that is identifiable. So zoom in on Havana. Why? Because that was the first DEM I could find. Where did I find the DEM? Because what we're trying to do is to clip DEMs. Well, you go to get free DEMs, you go to usgs.gov. That's where I get my DEMs, and you put in Earth Explorer, and you click on that and wait for it to do what it does. I don't know why it's taking so long. And then you open Earth Explorer, and then you have to sign in. So I logged in, free account, and I picked an area around Florida and Havana and the Bahamas, and I went down to the SRTM. So we want a digital elevation map. So I was on search criteria, and I put the state to be Florida, and I got this use map, and by using the map it drew this like big map over there. Yay for that. And then I said, well, I want some results from that, and I picked some results, and it gave me all sorts of results. Now you're thinking, results of what? So let me show you data sets. The results I wanted were digital elevation up here under data sets, and I like to use the SRTM 1 arcsecond global. That's a pretty relatively high resolution. I think it's 30 meters. It's not perfect, but it's better than most other stuff. So that's the one I check, the SRTM, which is the Subtle Radar Topography Mission taken by the Space Shuttle back in the day, and they make that available for free. And there's a whole bunch of other digital elevation maps, but that's the one most of us use. And then you go in and it displays the different maps, and I wanted to find, you look at the footprint, that's Domingo. I could use Domingo, and I can use basically any map that I want to do for this experiment. So that's Puerto Rico. Why don't we do Puerto Rico this time?
Why not?
Let's do Puerto Rico. Okay, so if you're logged in, when you find the DEM, it'll be through that entire area. You can identify by looking at the footprint which maps are available to you. This Puerto Rico map looks fun. So it's got Arecibo, which is where the big dish was for contacting alien civilizations. So that's fun. I think it was destroyed in a hurricane, so I guess we can't talk to the aliens anymore. So you download it using the download button, and you take the GeoTIFF. And once you get the GeoTIFF, it'll download for you. Now here's what's cool.
Did you convert to your file?
Show in folder. You can take your TIFFs, and you can open up Arc. And I guess we're not going to look at Havana right now. We're going to zoom over to... We're going to zoom over to Puerto Rico. All right, so we're over at Puerto Rico. There's Arecibo on the map. And now look at how easy it is to just drag this. And I'm also going to click on this, and I'm going to call this, because you can get confused pretty easy, Puerto Rico DEM, and then leave its regular name, and then just drag it onto the map. Now, when you try to drag it onto the map, what happens? It asks if you want to do statistics. So I always use this choice, unless it's a really big data set, in which case it can really dumb down. So maybe we haven't used. So anyway, calculate statistics, and there's Havana. Why do I have Havana? Okay, that's weird. Looks like I named the wrong DEM. So this is not the right one. Let's get rid of that. Let's remove it. Who was I looking for? You're not Puerto Rico. You're not Puerto Rico. You are Havana, taken earlier.
And I try to do a smaller portion. first to see if it works.
Havana. We want the one that just came in at 8:42. That's this guy here.
On the same file.
And let's go Puerto Rico here.
It did fine for them.
Oops. I have the ability to write Puerto Rico DEM. All right, let's try this and see. The other thing I wanted to show is that look at what happens when you actually click on it. The DEMs use light colors for stuff that is high and dark colors for stuff that is low, and it's really hard to see in this map what you've got. You just have to have some faith that when you line it up on the map, it'll work. So I'm going to pull it again, pull this one on top, and let's see what that looks like. There we go. We're in Puerto Rico now. Okay, so that was easy. But the thing is, we don't want all of Puerto Rico. We just want to look at the area between Arecibo and Florida and Al Bonito. So we want to zoom in.
They have a place called Florida.
Yeah, they do. It means flowers.
I know, but I didn't know
Yeah.
they have a place in Puerto Rico called Florida.
So we want to, let's just look at this river down here, the stream down here, and the Arecibo area over there. And so how do I clip just that extent? Because that's all I really want. I don't want any of the other stuff. And that's what Nathan came to us tonight to look at. And so there's Arecibo right there. So what we're going to do to clip that
Concept is good, though.
is we're going to go up to the analysis and go to tools.
Maybe you're missing one for
And
one
that
step or
opens
something.
up a geoprocessing tool search bar, and you do clip raster. And with clip raster, you click on it and say, well, what's my input raster? Well, the input raster is going to be that TIFF file, the DEM.
Yeah, she has a problem though. It's
has a
not
problem?
processing for him. It's too slow or zero.
Okay, well, let's see what's happening. I'll just finish this up to show that it does work, and then we'll see why his isn't working. And we will ask chat. So the output extent, you have to come here and you can either pick another picture that's on or another layer that's on. Right now, the only layer we have is this TIFF. If you had a polygon, you could pick that polygon. But you can draw a polygon using this drawing tool. It comes up here and you see you've got all these different polygons that you can draw. And I can say I want to go from the doctor's hospital over to Calle Dos. Click there. Come down to
See, Nathan?
here.
It doesn't make it immediately.
Yeah, you have to click on it, and then
That's USL.
and then when you do that, you have to right-click and say finish, and
That's
then
not- you were
it is
doing
finished.
immediate.
Now, when you do that, it adds
Yours
up
is
here a
easier.
clip raster output extent polygon. And now to make it work, you have to say use input feature for clipping geometry. If you don't say it, it says it's optional, but uncheck the minimum bounding rectangle will be used to clip the data, whereas check the geometry of the specific
Hey,
feature
Nathan,
class will be
don't
used.
touch that.
And
Don't
so
click
you
on
do
it.
want to click use input features for
Like,
clipping
don't
geometry.
click on this.
And you can see that the
See what
rectangle
happens.
changes, and then you have an output raster data set, and then you run it. And once you've run it, bang, it comes up, and you can see that I can turn off the other DEM, and I just have that one section of the DEM that I can use. And then the fun should begin that you can then go to is it a global scene?
What do you need?
What do you
This should give us a,
opening?
yeah, this is the spectacularness of this.
You need to choose a different map?
No. So here's a global scene, and there's Puerto Rico, and I should be able to say to it in my global scene, I'm supposed to be able to see this as a 3D map based on the DEM.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I'm trying to remember how in the global scene, oops, because that's the coolest thing is that you have the ability.
Yes, but it's not under. Hey,
Hmm,
it's not under the 3D.
3D layer.
But the thing is under the 2D.
Mm-hmm. Right, so you're saying I would have to take the elevation. See, it's supposed to do the elevation surface as the layer under contents,
But but
because Puerto Rico,
Dominican.
Dominican Republic. Where's Puerto Rico? Where's Puerto Rico?
San Juan. Ah. Have you been to Puerto Rico, Nathan?
Mm-mm. No, I would love to go at some point.
And there are many places we'd love to go.
Yeah.
Me too. Oh,
Now, somewhere in here, it's supposed to let me open up the 3D layers, but it only has two-dimensional layers. So world elevation, source, ArcGIS map, service capabilities. Because this is the coolest feature in this, is that your DEM is supposed to give you the mountain. Well, maybe it is doing it. Yeah.
Is that for Puerto Rico or just all of them? Just this part, right? Oh no.
Yeah, just that. That's the part that I clicked.
Yeah.
What about that side? No.
Well, it has some information that it
It's
just
not
generally
all
has.
parts. If you go close, it comes, no?
Yeah, but it also is supposed to take what you've clipped and give you even better information. And I'm trying to remember how it does that, because I have played with this before. Oops, that didn't work. Scene. Because you do have this 3D mapping capability.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Which is very, very cool. But I'm not able to see, like, where is my,
But you're gonna
view.
First of all, you're gonna create that in the 3D. You
Reset
created it
that.
in the 2D, the clip.
Yeah.
So what if you created?
Well, you're supposed to be right. You're supposed to be able to tell it what you. Oh, it's using the world elevation terrain 3D that it already has, rather than using our
clip.
Our clip. So I think if we go like this, yes, and we say I don't want to use that. I want to use my clip. And where's Puerto Rico?
There it is.
It should be using our clip now as the source of the DEM. And then the world hillshade.
DH, but in 3D there's nothing.
Hmm?
In 3D you don't have anything in the layer.
Oh, true that. Well, it doesn't let me put it in. Elevation services.
Did you create it there? Create it in the 3D layer.
It doesn't let you, but it doesn't let you.
You have to almost make a couple layers of with 3D.
Because you created it in the 2D.
But you see my clip. You can see my extent. Look, that's what I cut out.
Oh.
It's there. That is what I cut out. See, look.
Really?
Yeah, look.
Yeah, I see.
But
That is the what it's using.
It's changing actually. It's not keeping.
Well, but then the rest is not as.
No, it's not. It's not outlining it. It's just growing.
Yeah, and I can't remember because I've been using QGIS for so long. I can't remember. Like if I take the map and I bring it in, why is it? That's the world topographical map. What happens if we add a map here? Add an imagery hybrid. Yeah. Okay. Now.
You added it in the 2D layers.
No, this is 3D.
It says 2D and it's under the 2D layers.
Right, the map is the hybrid reference layer. Yeah. That's not going to change, but it's using the DEM. See the mountain there? Look. Now you can see, look at the clip. The clip made a mountain. You see that there?
Yeah.
So that, now you can really see what I clipped out. That's my clip. That's using the digital elevation information. Yeah, it's really working now. Look. Look at the mountains.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, and that shows what we
You
clipped
clip
out.
that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
So that was by
That's cool.
dragging the map over to the 2D layer rather than the world imagery. I'm using the hybrid reference map. I can take that out. See what it looked like? That's the clip.
I see. Now I
Okay,
see.
now
it.
you see the clip
Mhm.
that I made.
Uh-huh.
But when we then add in the world imagery or the hybrid reference layer, then boom, now you can
Yeah.
see, because the rest is flat.
Right.
Yep.
Good job.
Right, so that is the function of a digital elevation map and why you want to clip just portions, because it takes tremendous amount of memory. If I say I don't want to use the Puerto Rico clip, but I want to use their built-in world elevation, the entire Earth is now in 3D, but it takes a lot more processing power. So you don't need to use a DEM in ARC just to start navigating the world. It just takes a whole lot more.
This is not a lot of resolution, but it's not like
No.
dense.
But isn't that nice that they provide this service?
Can you go all deeper? Like
You can go
zoom
anywhere in
in?
the world that
no,
you want.
No, can you zoom in more?
Oh, you mean like,
I gotta get going. I gotta get to
Okay.
bed.
but that's what's cool about this. And then if you want to use the Puerto Rico part.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
So you feel that you understand now what to do?
Can you
Okay.
stop recording?
And you can always watch this little video I'll put up on YouTube to see what we actually did.
He's not gonna stop. He's gonna find it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Are you gonna? Did you stop recording?
I'll see you
No.
guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Good night.
Night. How cool is that, Ines?
That's very useful.
All right. That was
Okay.
that's certainly neat. All right. All right. So thank you for that. We'll go back to. Whoops. We'll go back to how do you get back to the 2D? You get out of the scene. You go to the map. No, you go to. I don't even know. Oh, you go back to map here. Okay. So that's the region that we were looking at, and then you can always go back to the scene and see it, and then go back to the map. Pretty cool. All right. We've learned a few things. Thanks and bye.